Welcome to today's video, where we unravel a captivating saga of envy and loss. A neighbor's jealousy leads to the unlawful felling of a majestic sequoia and ignites a legal battle with a staggering £500,000 outcome. Buckle up as we dive into this incredible narrative of property, trees, and a twist of sweet arboreal justice. It's been 2 years, and I can finally post about this. This is juicy, so get ready. Background information. We live in an old and big manor that has been split into 3 attached houses. The houses are about 150 years old and were built around 5 huge giant sequoias which were about 200 years old. In the UK, giant sequoias are very rare, and the 2 in our garden up the house price by about PS 60,000. We lived next to 2 really nice neighbours, one young couple and one old couple. The story. Unfortunately, our old neighbours passed away, so their child and her family moved in. Let's call her Jo. Jo was instantly a pain in the ass. We had been sharing chickens with the previous neighbours, and Jo agreed to keep sharing them. However, on her nights, she would constantly forget to put them away, so we would have to check them every night anyway. One night, her little brats thought it would be funny to open our personal duck pen in the night, which leads to a mass slaughter. Later, the chickens went the same way. About 2 years ago, there was a storm, and one of her sequoias somehow fell over and died. They were distraught, understandably, but from then on, the jealousy started. She would constantly complain about how lucky we were to have 2 sequoias in our garden, and how our sequoia was making too much shade in their garden. It wasn't. Anyway, we just thought it was Jo being a pain. There were a few dry threats, like they will chop it down, or maybe the next storm will blow it down. Until we came back from a holiday to France to find a huge 6-meter stump and nothing else. I mean, how the fuck do you get rid of a 100-foot tree in like 2 weeks? 2 of our old British oak trees had been crushed as well. My mum and sisters were crying. My dad were red in the face, and we had no evidence Jo had done it. She claimed that there had been a storm and she had to get rid of it. We had a security camera at the front of the house, but you can get in the back if you go through a few fields. We then were given an PS 8,000 bill for damages to her property, and to have the tree chopped up and removed. The wood alone would have been worth a small fortune. We had lost all hope, and 2 weeks had passed when my dad came running in from the garden. We had put up a wildlife camera a few months ago and had caught everything. We got a lawyer on the phone and started our revenge. We got a tree surgeon out who said it was an original specimen brought into the UK in 1860, along with the 2 that were in Elvaston Castle Country Park. There were 218 around the UK, but only 60 now. He also told us to call out an engineer because the roots might be in the foundation, so when they rot, it could damage the house. Turns out we would need to redo the foundations. Then we took Jo to court and sued them for damage to property, trespassing, and lots of other smaller claims. The tree would cost $250,000 to have another sequoia that was 200 years put in and looked after. It's basically impossible. Plus the damage to the foundation, which was $200,000, and the 2 oaks, which were another $25,000. So with the smaller claims, it went to about PS $500,000. They had to move out, and we have now paid off the mortgage, done a lovely loft and kitchen conversion, and have basically done up the house and garden, as well as plant a 60-year-old sequoia tree in the back garden. We also had our kitchen counter and table made from the old sequoia. We now have a new lovely family living next to us, who we share chickens, ducks, and pygmy goats with. They're very nice, and I make a fortune babysitting their kids. Sorry for the essay. New neighbours chopped down original sequoia specimen that 200-year-old and is of the same tree as all to ones in every signal place of note in the UK, ends up costing them PS $500,000, $700,000. I'm working on the SPAG, but I'm dyslexic. Please tell me where the errors are. The people who cut the tree down gave us the countertops for free. As a sorry, they were truly sorry. The neighbours had a second home, so they just sold the house and moved back to their smaller one. We feel bad for the old neighbours, but we do visit their graves because they were like family. I can't show the footage of the wildlife cam, sorry. But I can show footage we got of hedgehogs. Link, didn't know where to put it, so I put it on r/reddit.com.alf.dom comments fsm bed /hedgehog caught by our wildlife camera, also part. And with that dramatic
Also, there was a
resolution,
storm, but the
our
sequoia
story
was unharmed.
comes to an end.
That's what the video showed.
If you enjoyed this tale of justice and the unexpected consequences of envy, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more intriguing stories.